Yikes. Oh my gosh, this man got shredded, bruh! Oh my! Y'all shoot Patriots! What are you doing with your life?
I get bumped by
Oh, just shredded!
Don't want to put in these shit. No.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Oh, one team behind.
Whoa, this is hella damage, G. That ain't it, bro. So do I, bro. Oh, dude, you're gonna fucking die, bro!
Rogue Stinger Hive detected.
Try your shit first. That's a full fucking squad.
Rogue Defender drone detected.
Yeah, I know it's the right one. I got it. Right home.
Rogue Hive
Yo, what is good, you guys? Your mans is back. Well, during the quarantine at least. Formerly Gourmet J, now known as myself, Brandon. During this time, during the quarantine, your mans just really doesn't have that much to do since I can't go outside. So there's only so much I can do. So here I am on Division 2, and I made a pretty good build, man. So with no further ado, let's just go straight into it. So, this is actually the farming version that I have going. So this is the build right here. It is a one-piece coyote mask, 2511, the contractor gloves, the Fox's pair knee pads, and 1 R&K. So I'm not gonna try to use the cliche of synergy, because obviously so many people say that with all their builds. But this one is made for a lot of damage and survivability, I'll put it that way. So basically, let's start off with the weapons. I'm using the FAMAS. This one has max AR damage, health damage, and crit chance. With Optimist, I'm actually trying to get damage to targets out of cover for the attributes, so I can do a lot more damage. And then for my secondary weapon, I'm using an SMG, the Tactical Vector SBR 9mm with max SMG damage, almost max crit chance, and a 12% mag size with Optimist on there as well. As far as the mask, I'm using the Coyote mask. This gives you max weapon damage, crit chance, crit damage, and I have another crit chance mod on here for 5.5%. And basically what the mask does, if you're between 0 and 15 meters, you get 25% crit hit damage. Between 15 and 25 meters, you get 10% crit hit damage and crit hit chance, 10% crit hit chance, and then 25 plus meters, you get 25% crit hit chance. And let's see, going into the backpack, I'll just go ahead and read off this talent. So this talent kind of makes the whole build right here. So I'm using a 511 backpack where it gives me 10% health and incoming repairs. I just want the 2-piece for the 15% incoming repairs. And I don't have max armor in here, which I'm still looking for a better bag, but I'm making do with what I have. This has headshot damage and crit hit damage with 17% incoming repairs. And this talent right here is what makes the whole build come together. It's versatile, where it amplifies total weapon damage for 10 seconds when swapping between your primary and secondary weapons if they are different. So, as you saw, I'm using an AR and an SMG. So, this deals 35% more damage to enemies within 15 meters. Within 15 meters for SMGs and shotguns. So, since I'm using an SMG, I get that 35%. And since I'm using the mask between 0 and 15 meters, I'm getting that extra 25% crit hit damage since I'm using an SMG. So that crit hit damage, along with that 35% extra damage, it's insane. It's a lot of damage, man. And then I'm using an AR, so I get 10% extra damage to enemies between 15 and 25 meters. Then, going into the chest piece, I don't have max armor on here. This is roll for armor as well. I wish I had crit chance instead of or headshot damage instead of the weapon handling, but I mean, it is what it is. And then I have 10% crit damage and 17.1 incoming repairs, and I'm running Unbreakable simply because I don't find too many chest piece talents that are just all that great. As far as, I mean, if I were to wear System Corruption, then I would run Intimidate, but it just, I feel like there aren't that many great chess piece talents that really do any justice for any build. So that's why I'm running Unbreakable right now. And then on the holster, I'm using Richter and Kaiser for the 15% incoming repairs, and I have a skill tier on here with 11% crit damage and 20% repair skills. And then the knee pads, I'm using the Fox's Prayer knee pads. So I believe the Fox's Prayer knee pads and the contractor gloves are actually going to receive nerfs to the 15% damage to target out of cover, and then the damage to armor, the 11% damage to armor. So as of right now, I'm using these. So the reason why I'm using these knee pads is because the 15% damage to out of cover is just, it's unparalleled, it's multiplicative, and it's better than me running since I'm using an SMG. I mean, I could do Sokolov, but I do more damage right now with these knee pads right here with the damage. That's pure damage, multiplicative damage. And then also, I would also like, if I could find some better ones, I mean, I would like skill repairs instead of skill damage. And then on the gloves, I'm using contractor gloves. These offer LMG damage. So this build is, you're not restricted to just any certain type of weapon. Like, this build is built for any kind of weapon you want. You can use a rifle, you can use an LMG. Obviously, if I were to use an LMG, I do more damage since I have that extra 10% to damage out of cover. But I'm an AR and SMG player, so that's kind of just me. I'll use an LMG every now and then. But as far as the gloves, it's 11% damage to armor, 11% weapon damage, and 6% crit chance. And then as far as my stats, this build isn't min-maxed. Like, this build could be so much better, man. It only has 37.6 crit chance. So regarding the mask, if I were to use the mask, I could get more crit chance. Just depends on the distance. That's why I'm not really tripping off of the crit chance right now. If I could get more on my build, great. But right, I'm not really tripping off of me not having a max amount. Then let's see, where are the main stats? You guys gotta bear with me because I haven't been playing this as much as others. So I have almost 1.2 million armor. I can max out my knee pads and my chest piece where I can have more armor, and my bag. So I would have a lot more armor actually. I could probably get closer to about 1.3 mil, possibly. And I only have 64% incoming repairs. That's decent, but if you could get into that 80% range, you're really getting somewhere. So that's just about it for the build. Oh, by the way, yes, that's one of the main things as well. I'm using Technician. The reason why I'm using Technician is for that 15% skill repairs and for the skill tier, so that I only have to run one skill tier, and I get better heals. If I were not to run Technician, I would run Gunner just for the armor on kill and for the rate of fire after you drop somebody. And also getting your ammo back. It's almost like Banshee. So that I really like the Gunner. If it weren't for this extra skill tier, I wouldn't be running Technician, to be totally honest. I really like the Gunner's specialization. But that's the gist of the build, you guys. Using a the Restorer Hive and the Chem Launcher just for heals, and then if I need to fight, you know, a lot of skill build players, I'll switch my Chem Launcher over to a Jammer. This build does a lot of damage once you switch weapons. It's just you have to play, I'm not gonna say play reserved, you have to play smart. You have to know when you run out of that SMG, it's almost like you have to back off just so you can switch to your AR and get that extra damage to just to meet the requirements so that you can get that extra AR damage. But overall, to be honest, you don't really need to have the buff, the versatile buff, in order to really do some damage. It's kind of like, if I really want to one clip you and you're a true Patriot with about 1.9 million armor, and I need to do some damage to you, then I'm gonna switch to that SMG. A lot of times I don't even need to use SMG just because of how fast people melt when I switch to it. But I like using my AR more. I've always been an AR player, but there are those times when, you know, you need to, when you're fighting multiple people and you need to put somebody down quick, you just got to switch to that SMG, and then you got to play your cards right and play the area right. You know, use the area to your advantage.
Bro, people ain't running this effing shit are weak as hell, yo.
But like I said, that's the gist of the build. I appreciate you guys coming through. Hopefully this becomes of some use to you. And I'm working on a system corruption build that is not like what anybody else has put out. I haven't really watched that many YouTube videos, to be totally honest, but I'm pretty sure nobody has thought of what a couple friends of myself have thought of as far as a system corruption build. But alright, you guys, I will catch you guys later. Appreciate you guys being here. Peace. To your right.
An agent needs assistance.
Mira, todo el mundo me está diciendo que tengo la...
Rogue agent neutralized.
porque no me deja bailar, cabrón, que no mames. Era tipo como derrite, cabrón.
Explosive Seeker mine detected.
Fíjate lo que yo puedo, puñeta.
Rogue Stinger Hive detected.
I've come back to claim you. Shoot, can you shoot? Shoot. Yo, what is this delay, dog?